Grammar is the logic of speech, even as logic is the grammar of reason, said by Richard C. French. Welcome to Indefinite. In this video, we are going to know about the formation of tense, indefinite tense. There is a comparison between simple present tense and simple past tense. There are three forms: to be, to have, and to do. Let's know the first one. To be form of the verb. Sunny is a student is an example for simple present tense. Sunny subject. Is or am or main verbs. A student noun. We can use adjective also. Simple past tense example is Sunny was a student. Sunny subject. Was or were main verbs. A student noun. We can use adjective. To have form of the verb. Sunny has a letter is an example for simple present tense. Sunny subject. Has or have main verbs. A letter noun. Sunny had a letter is an example for simple past tense. Sunny subject. Had main verb. A letter noun. To do form of the verb. Sunny writes a letter is an example for simple present tense. Sunny subject writes first form of the verb. We can add yes or yes to the third person of subject. A letter object. Sunny wrote a letter is an example for simple past tense. Sunny subject wrote second form of the verb. A letter object. Progressive tense. There is a comparison between present continuous tense and past continuous tense. There are three forms: to be, to have, and to do. Let's know the first one. To be form of the verb. Sunny is being a student. Sunny subject. Is or am or plus being verb. A student noun is an example for present continuous tense. Sunny was being a student is an example for past continuous tense. Sunny subject. Was or were plus being main verb. A student noun. To have form. Sunny is having a letter is an example for present continuous tense. Sunny subject. Is or am or plus having verb. A letter noun. Sunny was having a letter is an example for past continuous tense. Sunny subject. Was or were plus having verb. A letter noun. To do form of the verb. Sunny is writing a letter is an example for present continuous tense. Sunny subject. Is or am or helping verbs. Writing fourth form of the verb. A letter object. Sunny was writing a letter is an example for past continuous tense. Sunny subject. Was or were helping verbs. Writing fourth form of the verb. A letter object. Perfect tense. There is a comparison between present perfect tense and past perfect tense. There are three forms: to be, to have, and to do. Let's know the first one. To be. Sunny has been a student is an example for present perfect tense. Sunny subject. Has been or have been verb. A student noun. Sunny had been a student is an example for past perfect tense. Sunny subject. Had been verb. A student noun. To have form of the verb. Sunny has had a letter. Sunny subject. Has or have plus had main verb. A letter noun is an example for present perfect tense. Sunny had a letter is an example for past perfect tense. Sunny subject. Had verb. A letter noun. To do form of the verb. Sunny has written a letter. Sunny subject. Has or have helping verbs. written third form of the verb, a letter, object is an example for present perfect tense. Sony had written a letter. Sony subject, had helping verb, written third form of the verb, that is called as past participle, a letter, object. Perfect progressive tense. There is a comparison between present perfect continuous tense and past perfect continuous tense. To do form of the verb, Sony has been writing a letter. Sony subject, has been or have been helping verbs, writing fourth form of the verb, a letter, object. Sony had been writing a letter. Sony subject, had been helping verb, writing fourth form of the verb, a letter, object. Indefinite tense and progressive tense. There is a comparison between simple future tense and future continuous tense. To do form of the verb, Sony will write a letter is an example for simple future tense. Sony subject, will or shall helping verbs, write first form of the verb, a letter, object. Sony will be writing a letter is an example for future continuous tense. Sony subject, will or shall plus be helping verbs, writing fourth form of the verb, a letter, object. Perfect tense and perfect progressive tense. There is a comparison between future perfect tense and future perfect continuous tense. To do form, Sony will have written a letter is an example for future perfect tense. Sony subject, will have or shall have helping verbs, written third form of the verb, a letter, object. Sony will have been writing a letter is an example for future perfect continuous tense. Sony subject, will have been or shall have been helping verbs, writing fourth form of the verb, a letter, object. So these are the forms and examples of tense. By knowing all these things, we can easily identify the tense and we can easily construct the sentences. Thank you for watching my video. Please subscribe my channel and click the bell icon for further notification.